Good evening, friends. Today is Thursday, December 3rd. We are making our way through the first week of Advent. My name is Kama Hamilton Morton, and this evening, just some brief reflections, a little singing, and then I'll be taking Friday and Saturdays off for a break, and then we'll start on week 2 on Sunday. I don't know what it's like in your neck of the world. I've had the opportunity to connect on video chats with some friends that have been good for my spirit and connection, and also challenging to hear from friends who work in the healthcare industry and who share their concerns, their weariness, and hopes for us all. I am trying to connect more with friends, with colleagues. I've discovered Google Duo as a little video chat that goes cross-platform, so it doesn't matter if you're PC or Mac or iPhone or Android, you can use it, and that's been fun and easy to connect with folks. Are you finding ways to connect with those that you're not seeing every day? Phone, email, text, a little limerick, poem, a joke, something to connect us one to another. As we conclude this first week of Advent, I'll want to just start with part of Matthew, the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 12, which says, part of what many have considered a promise from God. Here is my servant whom I have chosen, my beloved, with whom my soul is well pleased. I will put my spirit upon him, and he will proclaim justice to the Gentiles. He will not wrangle or cry aloud, nor will anyone hear his voice in the streets. He will not break a bruised reed or quench a smoldering wick until he brings justice to victory. And in his name, the Gentiles will hope. What does hope look like, feel like on your lips, in your breath? The images you conjure up in this season. May it be something tangible or something internal. May it reside wherever it may be for you. As I was thinking about kind of winding up the days of this first week of Advent, another reflection from Madeleine L'Engle. She talks about impossible things. And one of the things, if you have not read Madeleine L'Engle, one of the things that was so striking to me and why I just loved her as a young adult was her weaving together of life and faith, but also of science, and that they were just wedded together beautifully. She wasn't She talked about them both as equally true and part of each other, and it wasn't an either an or. And as such, I've grown up with feeling that, our created order is a both and with faith and science, that it's not an either or. And I've always admired those who dive deeply into both the mystical arts and the arts of science. So she has this reflection on impossible things. In Lewis Carroll's Alice Adventures Through the Looking Glass, the White King advises Alice to practice believing 6 impossible things every morning before breakfast. It's good advice. Unless we practice believing in the impossible daily and diligently, we cannot be Christians. Those strange creatures who proclaim to believe that the power that created the entire universe willingly and lovingly abdicated that power and became a human baby. Particle physics teaches us that energy and matter are interchangeable. So, for love of us recalcitrant human creatures, the sheer energy of Christ changed into the matter of Jesus. Ordinary, human matter. Faulted, flawed, born with the seed of death already within the flesh as a sign of solidarity with our mortality. But this birth also promises us that our human mortal matter is permeated with Christ's total energy, the creative energy which shouted into being all the galaxies, hydrogen clouds, solar systems, planets, all life, even us. When Christ was born as Jesus, born of a human mother as all babies are born, that incredible birth honored all our births and assured us that we, God's beloved children, partake of eternal life. For indeed it follows that as Christ partook of human life, we partake of the divine life. And so, this night, may we consider ourselves both and creatures, creatures of dust and creatures of the stars. And that if you are feeling weary or overwhelmed, I don't know about you, I've got a lot on my plate the next couple days. And this next week, and just to pause and to remember your connection to all of us, and we to you, and to the earth that we walk upon, and to the incredibly gorgeous moon that keeps rising this week right outside my window, that's just big and bold, and to the stars that are beyond anything we can reach. That we are both and people, born of impossible dreams and given the possibility to live as both and. Part of that fleshness of humanity, the matter and the energy of Christ, of creation, of the cosmos. That we are a part of it all. Isn't that great? I just love that image. And so in simplicity tonight, I share a little three-piece nativity in addition to my oil lamp here. And this, I had the blessing in 2006 of going to Seoul, Korea to represent our annual conference and the United States at the World Methodist Conference and Council meeting. And a part of that, I had a chance to find this simple nativity, Joseph, Mary, and Babe. And I just was struck by the simple lines. There's not a lot of fluff and external pieces, so it kind of connects me every year when I get it out. And I remember making that trip and the simplicity and starkness of the nativity that we are preparing to receive into our lives and our world once again. And so tonight I'm going to sing from our United Methodist hymnal number 210. We're going to actually sing this in worship this Sunday, but since I'm taking a break over the next couple nights, I wanted to share it as we think about being creatures of the earth and creatures of the stars, of that matter and that energy. This is one of my favorites. Toda la tierra, all earth is waiting, and the imagery of the world and of the earth and how we are called to be in connection with one another. This was written by a Spanish Roman Catholic priest who, in the beginning of the movement of Vatican II, when the Roman Catholic Church kind of opened itself up to new forms of music and liturgy and worship, this was the first song of his to make it into the United States. And so it made it into our United Methodist hymnal in 1987, I believe. So all earth is waiting. All earth is waiting to see the promised one, And the open furrows, the sowing of the Lord, all the world bound and struggling seeks true liberty. It cries out for justice and searches for the truth. Thus says the prophet to those of Israel, a virgin mother will bear Emmanuel, for his name is God with us, our brother shall be. With him hope will blossom once more within our hearts. Mountains and valleys will have to be made plain. Open new highways for the Lord. He is now coming closer, so come all and see, and open the doorways as wide can be. In lowly stable the promised one appeared, yet feel his presence throughout the earth today, for he lives in all Christians and is with us now. Again with his coming he brings us liberty. A beautiful song with guitar or piano, a little rhythm there. And it begins and ends with a call for justice and liberty. Do you feel yourself, do you feel your life being liberated in any way? Do you feel that promise and power of redemption, of forgiveness, as we muddle through this COVID Advent? Do you feel that you know what it is you're yearning for? I invite you to consider, as we breathe deep this night, part of the paradox of our faith tradition, in the Christian faith tradition, is a lot of both ands. Maybe that's why I've used it as my faith toolbox of imagery and language and metaphor. That we are both, on the one hand, we are enough. You are enough. You are created by the spirit and the movement and the energy and the presence of God, who creates those stars and that beautiful moon and all that is around us. And yet we know too that as in our humanity, we fail, we stumble, we make choices that hurt ourselves or others, whether we realize it or not. We say things that are hurtful or misinformed or incomplete. And that sense of forgiveness and redemption is before us every day. You are enough, and may we continue to learn and move and lean into wholeness and completeness and redemption together. So, my friends, may you breathe deep the power and the presence of God, of a world that is yearning for wholeness and holiness. And as we wind down this first week of Advent, may we continue on the path. So light a candle, sing a song, find a poem, connect with others this weekend, and we will continue on the journey on Sunday. God's peace be with you. Good night.